Hey everybody, this is Nick from First Coast Math Clinic. In this video, we're going to cover how to find the common denominators of fractions. Let's get into it. So our first example is going to be 1/8 and 2/3. And before we get into this, let's talk about what are common denominators. Common denominators are basically just the least common multiple of the denominators. I have another video on least common multiples if you want to review that. The link for that's coming up right now, as well as at the end of this video. But I'm going to review how to find the least common multiple or common denominators for these examples. And well, why do we need to find common denominators? Well, we need to find common denominators when we add or subtract fractions. So in this video, I'm not going to do too much adding or subtracting fractions. I'm just going to work on finding the common denominators and making our two denominators here and here the same value or the least common multiple. So let's go through how we're going to do that. So an easy way to find our common denominators or least common multiple is to set up a table. So let's do that with our denominators 3 and 8. And then our values on the left. And let's multiply 3 by our values along the left. So we'll get 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, and 24. Then we're going to do the same thing with 8. Multiply 8 times 1, times 2, times 3, times 4, times 5, times 6, times 7, and times 8. And we want to find the smallest number in these two columns that these values have in common. Well, starting with our 3, we notice that we've got 24 here. So 3 times 8 gives us 24. And our 24 here, 8 times 3 gives us 24. So our common denominator is going to be 24 and 24. Well, how do we get that then in our fraction? So let's take our 1/8. And what do we multiply 8 by to get our common denominator? We multiply by 3. So we're going to multiply by 3 over 3. And we get 3 over 24. And when we multiply fractions, we multiply straight across. Numerator times numerator, denominator times denominator. And we're going to do the same thing with 2/3. But what are we multiplying this 3 by? To get 24, well, we're multiplying it by 8. So we're going to multiply by 8 over 8. And we get 16 over 24. So now we have two fractions, 3 24ths and 16 24ths with the common denominator of 24 and 24. And by finding the least common multiple, which is our common denominator. All right, let's get into example number 2. Okay, so we want to find the common denominator for 2/5 and 7/9. So let's work on 5 and 9. Those are our denominators. So we're finding our least common multiple, which is the same as the common denominator. So let's multiply 5 times 1 through 9. And let's do the same thing with 9. And remember, we're looking for the smallest number that they have in common. So once we notice a value that they have in common, we could stop. So we've got 9, 18, 27, 36, and 45. And we notice, I'm going to stop here because we notice we have 45 and 45 here and here. So that 45, that's going to be our common denominator. So let's think about, all right, well, what are we multiplying 5 by to get 45? Well, we're multiplying by 9. What are we multiplying 9 by to get 45? Well, we're multiplying by 5. So let's multiply our fractions. 2/5, we know we're multiplying 5 times 9. So times 9, and we get 18 over 45. And then 7/9. We know we're multiplying 9 times 5, so times 5 over 5, and we get 35 over 45. So our two fractions with common denominators are 18/45 and 35/45 with a common denominator of 45 and 45. All right, let's do example number 3. Okay, so number 3, we want to find the common denominator for 5/6 and 3/4. So our denominators are 4 and 6. So let's set up our table to find our least common multiple. So let's write our values. We have 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, and 24. Remember, we can stop when we notice two of the smallest values that are equal. So for 6, we'll have 6, 12, and I could stop right there because we have 12 and 12, right? So what are we multiplying 6 by to get 12? We're multiplying 6 times 2. What are we multiplying 4 by to get 12? We're multiplying 4 by 3. So let's rewrite our fractions with our common denominators. So let's take our 5/6. We know we're multiplying 6 times 2, so multiply by 2 over 2, and we'll get 10 over 12. And we'll do 3/4. We know we're multiplying 4 by 3 to get 12, so times 3 over 3, and we'll get 9 over 12. So our two fractions with common denominator of 12 are going to be 10 over 12 and 9 over 12. All right, and that's how we find common denominators of fractions. This video was on how to find common denominators of fractions. I hope this video helped you understand this concept a little bit more. If you like this video, leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And check out the link for the video that's coming up right now on least common multiples. This is Nick from First Coast Math Clinic.